Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my annual presentation on SAP Business ByDesign, what we accomplished in the year 2022, what are our plans for the future, and specifically for the year 2023. My name is Reinhard Zino, in charge of product management of our mid-market solutions SAP Business One, SAP Business ByDesign, and a proud member of the bigger S/4HANA family with a special interest on S/4HANA Public Cloud. When I present to you the next slides, this is a roadmap presentation. And all of us have seen in the last 2 years how difficult it is to predict the future. So what I'm presenting to you today is our current state of planning. That said, let's first have a look at an overview slide. And I'm using this slide both for my Business One and my Business ByDesign presentation, and it equally applies to S/4HANA Public Cloud. The key message is, and therefore I picked the image of a high-rise. When you build an ERP kernel, you build a high-rise. Different shape, different form, but at the end of the day, you assemble a lot of end-to-end business processes and provide value to your customers. So the key obligation always is, first and foremost, to keep that kernel compliant, stable, secure, and attractive. That is the most important thing. In addition, what you want to do is you want to always monitor what's happening on the technology side, because we are living in a fast-moving world. For example, the trend to move to the hyperscalers is something that we need to look into. The second topic is, how do we deliver innovations in the most effective way? And there SAP's business technology platform plays a vital role in the years to come. Therefore, for this presentation, you will see more than once the picture of a high-rise, so to represent what we are doing with the ERP kernel. That said, let's have a quick look at the numbers. As we are still in the fourth quarter, I'm not talking about any current numbers here, so the numbers that you see on the screen are the ones from early October, when the ByDesign family grew to 13,911 companies. How do I count? A company is somebody with a unique tax ID and they are live with Business ByDesign. So a really large family by now. The second number, which is very important for me, are the more than 11,000 add-ons available for Business ByDesign provided by our partners. Why is this number so important? I can, quotes and quotes, only deliver standard software. But what my customers need is a solution that fits their vertical, their micro-vertical, their country, and their specific integration requirements. And these are all things which I can only contribute elements to, but my partners are really doing the heavy lifting here. And therefore, a big round of applause to all of my partners for delivering this amazing capability. The third number that I would like to call out are the 161 countries in which ByDesign is used today. Also that, a massive accomplishment of the partner ecosystem, because I'm only delivering, quotes and quotes, 21 country versions out of the box. All of the others are built by the partners using the localization toolkit in Business ByDesign. With that, let's talk a little bit about 2022. 2022 was a very remarkable year, and also for me, because for me it marks my 20th year being part of the ByDesign management team. And I thought back, so how did the whole thing started? And in 2003, the board brought us together and said, ladies and gentlemen, please build us this ERP solution for the mid-market, build us a suite in the box, and build 30 end-to-end business processes. If I count in 2022, then we actually delivered 39 stories of our high-rise. Is this a problem? No. Simply because there are topics that we did not foresee back then, like IFRS 15, IFRS 16, India's goods and services tax, and certain business processes which we didn't have on the radar screen back then. But the year 2022 will be a very relevant year because for the first year in the history of SAP, we did something unique. We added a 40th floor, and I will talk more about it in a minute. We added a 40th floor, but we did not build it into ByDesign. We used the business technology platform to build that capability, the carbon footprint management, but we built it in a way that we can use this capability with Business ByDesign, with Business One, and early next year with S/4HANA Public Cloud. That is a groundbreaking move for SAP because it allows us to work a lot more efficiently than we've done it in the past. So that said, moving forward for the years to come, I will keep the ByDesign kernel as stable as possible, and I will do a certain number of things within that kernel, especially everything around legal compliance, security, and smaller things. But the bigger end-to-end processes, I will build them just once on the business technology platform. And that is the big news for the years to come. Therefore, both SAP embraces the business technology platform, and I'm inviting all of the partners and customers to also leverage SAP's business technology platform. Let's talk about the kernel and what we've done. And we've delivered so many net new capabilities in the last 2 years that I thought, hey, let's put them on a summary slide and quickly inform you once again about what has happened in the years 2020 till 2022. We added consignment stock, which is a critical capability for many of my customers. We added planned landed cost for those customers with longer supply chains where you need to handle separately additional tariffs, travel, and so on and so on. This is a key capability. Partners asked me for an improved production flexibility, specifically for the logistics scenarios, and we delivered on that promise. A capability that I originally had only made available for the public sector edition, the budget control capability, the active budget control capability, is now available for all industries because there was quite a demand also there. A topic very dear to my heart is everything around artificial intelligence and machine learning. I showed you last year how to take a photo of a supplier invoice, send it to ByDesign, and the processing is done automatically using artificial intelligence capabilities provided by the business technology platform. We continue this journey. This year we delivered to you the machine learning cockpit, where we use advanced statistical methods provided by the predictive analytics library from HANA and make that available for you in ByDesign. Some customers and partners said, hey, Rainer, this all sounds great, but is this really a mid-market relevant capability? And my answer is absolutely yes. Look at the use cases. The initial use case that we delivered now is the system analyzes for you all of your historic opportunities and your historic sales orders, and now applies the learnings and the observations to your existing opportunities and will tell you these are the opportunities which will most likely make it into a sales order, and these ones are the ones which you should probably stop. So a very relevant scenario which helps my customers to improve the decision-making quality in their companies. Again, this is a standard methodology that I'm providing. Therefore, I will have a couple of use cases, but all of the other use cases, like we did it in the robotics processing framework, will be provided by the partners. Last but not least, Microsoft integration. I hope that many of you are enjoying and using by now the Microsoft Teams integration, which we provided in the system, and we continue to innovate in the localization toolkit. I talked about the 161 countries. I will not talk you through the details of the following slides, but I just wanted to mention the roadmap is, as always, published on sap.com/roadmaps. If you scroll down a little bit, you will find the featured roadmaps with the mid-market roadmap. One more click and you see the latest roadmap for SAP Business ByDesign. It is always a rolling 4-quarter perspective. The rolling 4 quarters simply because if I would publish a longer roadmap, then I would have to accrue the revenues, and this is something my Chief Financial Officer does not like. Therefore, we are publishing the roadmap currently until the end of 2023. The structure of the roadmap is always the same. The first page talks about key business capabilities, and if you look at the roadmap, you may say, where are the big topics? The big topics in this roadmap until end of 2023 are mostly covering all of the feedback that you've provided on the new capabilities, on landed cost, on active budget control, on consignment stock. So that is what we are reflecting in the roadmap. And in addition, please keep in mind what I said earlier. The major innovations will be provided on BTP and integrated into Business ByDesign. The second page always talks about the cross capabilities, and only let me pick here the topic of the user experience. We've introduced with the 2208 release the new Horizon theme. This is important because this theme will be used across all of SAP's solutions. Why is this important? Because we want to make it as easy as possible for you when you use multiple SAP solutions, that you have the same visual experience, that you train your people on how to use the UI only once. Therefore, this is a very important step for us. Last page on the SAP part is the localization page. And this is where I easily spend a third of my budget to keep ByDesign on par with the local regulations and make it available to you and invest in the localization toolkit. So this is a key investment area. The next page talks about the partner side of the equation, because for you, the solution is only complete with the partner extensions. And here I have a dedicated page just once to what our partners are contributing to the overall solution. Before I start talking about the infrastructure side, one of my highlights this year was this book here, the latest publication of SAP Press on SAP Business ByDesign, written by 4 authors, and a big thank you to all of you for putting everything you need to know about Business ByDesign into one book. Caroline Atkinson, she claims that she's retired, but I hope, Caroline, that you are still helping many of our customers. Andrew Howell from Vision 33, Thomas Kraus from All for One, and Becca Wittmer from Illumiti. Thanks a lot for all of the hard work you put into this book, and to everybody else, I can only recommend this book and take a look at what is there available in Business ByDesign. As I said, it is important for us to keep ByDesign always on the latest technology stack. And this year was the year where we swapped out the entire technical infrastructure underneath ByDesign and replaced it with the latest infrastructure that SAP has to offer. SAP has the so-called 4+1 strategy when it comes to infrastructure. 4+1 means An SAP application shall run on the 4 major hyperscalers, Google Cloud, AWS, and Microsoft Azure, and for China, Ali Cloud. But SAP has, for those customers who prefer that, an own hyperscaler offering, which is called Converged Cloud, built on the OpenStack capabilities. Initially, we had thought, let's go for one of the hyperscalers. But then customers provided feedback and said, we rather feel confident on an SAP managed infrastructure, and therefore we decided to transition ByDesign to SAP's Converged Cloud. We transitioned the last customer in the month of October. For most customers, they didn't even see it. The only area where you saw it, we used the opportunity to swap out the underlying email infrastructure because it didn't meet our security requirements. Therefore we replaced that one. But with this, ByDesign customers are sitting on the latest infrastructure and are secured for the years to come. Therefore, this was a major accomplishment for 2022. As I said, 2022 is a very remarkable year because for the first time in SAP's history, we provided a new business capability just once and then connected to Business ByDesign with a May release 2205, to Business One with the 2208 release, and early next year to S/4HANA Public Cloud. And the application which we picked was carbon footprint management. This was a topic which we already announced in 2020, that this would be very important for us, and I'm very happy that we have it available today. And therefore, let me give you a short demo, but let's first look at the demo case. Here we have a small bakery, and this small bakery produces fruitcake and chocolate cake. The bakery has a carbon footprint from the consumed goods and the energy of 4.2 tons CO2 equivalents, and obviously has the same thing on the output side. The good news is, and that's the reason why I believe SAP can do this better than anybody else for you, is all of the blue lines in these pictures are material movements and processing steps. And you have all that data already in ByDesign, in Business One, in S/4HANA Public Cloud. What is new are the red lines, because now we need to allocate the energy consumption to the individual process steps. And then we can disclose the carbon footprint, and you can analyze what makes up your carbon footprint to take investment decisions. And let me show that to you in a short live demo. So I'm starting up the system. And I arrive here on the landing page, and I want to show you the end-to-end business processes. And the first thing you see is that I get a log-on screen. Why do I talk about a log-on screen here in the demo? Simply to show you this is the first BTP service which we are using consistently across all processes. Therefore, I log on just once into the business technology platform, and from there on, when I later branch out to other systems, I don't have to log on again. The second capability that you see here on the screen is that when you enter a new application, first the SAP Companion comes up and provides you a state-of-the-art knowledge transfer concept. So this is a guided tour through the system to show you what is available. We're using the same technique with Business One in the web client, and obviously also with Business ByDesign. But I don't need that today because I'm your tour guide today. Let me start off with a dashboard that I put together. The dashboard visualizes all of the information about the carbon footprint for a certain amount of time. Let me pick here the month of February. And let's click on Go. And the system retrieves all of the relevant information. At the top left, you see the balance sheet. And SAP talks about the green ledger here because that is what it's all about at the end of the day. You have a certain input and a certain output. And here you can see now what is the carbon footprint all about. So what are the different ingredients? What are the emissions that you factored into your calculation, and so on and so on. So what needs to happen to provide you this overview? The first thing is you need to set up the master data. And the system comes, as I said, pre-integrated with Business ByDesign and S4. But we published all of the APIs, and this is very relevant to my partners. I'm inviting you, if you have additional manufacturing extensions or even non-SAP solutions, use the API set to connect that backend also to this solution. So here you see all of the objects that we are accessing. The second thing is that you need to do, and these were the blue lines. Now let's talk about the energy flow. The red line. The energy flow is a new capability. The energy flow modeling is a new capability. And let me show you that quickly. I have here one model prepared, and I'm using the graphical flow modeler. Scrolling down here a little bit so that you see the entire model. What you see here is how do we allocate now electric energy and natural gas to the individual process steps in our manufacturing flow. So here you also see all of the meters where you either manually enter how much energy you consumed in that specific step of the manufacturing process, or you use an IoT scenario to feed the data in here. Once you have the master data and you have the energy flow, you can import the business transactions from ByDesign B1 and S4 for that specific month. I've already done that to save us a bit of time here. Then you create the carbon footprint for a specific month, and then finally you can analyze the data. And let me do that quickly for our chocolate cake. In the month of February, we can see that we have manufactured 352 kilograms of chocolate cake, and we can see that this related into 3.6 tons of carbon emissions. So how does that number fit together? If I click here on the chocolate cake, and that's the beauty of the Sankey diagram, then I can see exactly, good news for me as a chocolate lover, dark chocolate doesn't have such a big carbon footprint, I continue eating. Also, the baking ingredients for the biscuit doesn't make such a difference. Even the oven is not the biggest part. The biggest part is the chocolate assembly. And when I first saw the data, I said, how can that be? But the answer is relatively simple. First, you need to melt the chocolate, then you apply it to the cake, and then you need to deep freeze it again. So therefore, this is understandable. If I click here into the chocolate assembly, I see that I'm consuming both electric energy and gas. And if I analyze further, for example, the electric energy, then I see that the fruit cake is close to irrelevant, but the heavy part is the chocolate cake. If I do the same thing for the gas side of the house, then I see that the cooling system is the area where, if we invest in a lower carbon footprint, that would be the area to do it. I hope that you see the beauty of this application and the value add of this application. And as I said, for me, this is a landmark as we are proving that we can build net new business capabilities just once now and then integrate it. With that, let me go back to my presentation. If SAP now fully bets on the business technology platform, I obviously invite all of my partners to use the business technology platform also as their instrument of innovation. And then some partners very nicely say to me, Rainer, thanks a lot, but honestly, we have a lot of experience with Google Cloud, we have a lot of experience with Amazon Web Services and with Microsoft Azure. Why exactly should we invest now in Business Technology Platform? And I tried to summarize my answer in this picture. The business platform, the Business Technology Platform, provides a lot of services, but also a programming model. And your customers, when they buy an extension, they will expect that the extension meet the same security requirements, they meet the same level of data privacy, they offer a consistent user experience which is in line with what the existing users already know, and they meet all of the SAP product standards. That said, you can easily build an application which looks exactly like a Fiori-based application using the React framework, but why would you want to do that? Rather, I inherit these capabilities via the BTP to you, instead of you recoding something that has already been done. So therefore, Business Technology Platform is a special purpose environment to develop enterprise-grade, mission-critical ERP applications and the required extensions. And that's why I believe that this is a great value proposition for my partners. This is where the journey starts. And this is where I ask my team, put yourselves in the shoes of a partner and build me an application that I would never put into the standard of ByDesign. And build it for me in a cloud-native environment, because that is where the technology innovation happens. Build it in a multi-backend way, so that I can use this application against Business One, Business ByDesign, S/4HANA, and non-SAP applications. And I'm doing this presentation today for you against the ByDesign backend, early next year also against S4, and then a little later against Business One. And last point, build it in a multi-tenant aware base. Why is multi-tenancy so important? Multi-tenancy allows my partners to distribute the cost of an extension across all of their customers. And with that, this is commercially very attractive. So the application that my team put together is an event management application to organize poetry slams. And let me quickly show you how this works. So we have the poetry slam application. The system is using, again, the Business Technology Platform as the identity provider, because I said I only want to log on once, and then it connects to any SAP Cloud ERP backend. So now let's quickly go once again into a browser and start up the reference app. As said, the first service, again, the BTP service, the identity and access management capability, and the system now brings up Business ByDesign, simply because I said I want to integrate this solution here in the Launchpad. So if I look here, I have the author reading application. When I click on this tile, the system starts not only the BTP-based application, but also hands over the authorization rights, because I want to guarantee that you can only see the data that you are permitted to see. The application is very simple. We modeled an object to represent an event. When does the event happen? How many people can participate? Let me quickly go here into one of these events. Then you see it. So when does the event happen? How many seats are available? What is the participation fee? What is the status? And then you can see here there are already 2 people registered for this event. And for the techies, this application in itself publishes itself via web services and via events. So it meets all of the requirements that we have established for a microservices-based application. The key thing is, I told the team, don't rebuild existing capabilities. Therefore, they said, okay, when we create such an event, what we do in the background, we create a project. And in this case, in Business ByDesign, in S4 or in Business One. And when I now navigate through here, then the system takes me into ByDesign, into the project management capability, and I see the familiar Gantt chart with all of the tabs below here, so that I could allocate now the work. If I bought additional microphones, if I had expenses, travel expenses for the event, then I can do all of that. Obviously, I can do the billing. So you see an application which has exactly the same look and feel like Business ByDesign, thanks to the Common Horizon theme, and which works exactly along the same security guidelines, data privacy guidelines, and so on and so on. So to make it easy for my partners to join me on that story, and also for my larger customers who want to build extensions on their own, we built a public Git repository that everybody can log on to and replicate the project. Let me quickly go into this one. This Git repository includes now, let me just make this a bit smaller, includes now the application, so you can spin up the application and see how it works, but it also includes tutorials, because we wanted to make it easy for you to see how do you get to your BTP account, how do you develop the core application and use the underlying programming model that the business technology platform provides to you. And then to go through the different stages of the development process to deploy it into the runtime, first as a single tenancy application, then as a multi-tenancy application. So please provide this information to your colleagues so that they can get their hands around BTP and enjoy the same level of development productivity that we are enjoying. With that, I hope you see that we have a lot in store for all of us for the year 2023 with Business ByDesign. We have it now on the most reliable and stable technical infrastructure. Therefore, for the years to come, I will most likely not talk about this topic. We've entered a new era with delivering innovations now via the business technology platform, and you've seen our commitment to keep the ByDesign kernel as stable as possible. With the new carbon footprint management application, we've delivered the 40th floor on our high-rise and a new level of integration, more to come in 2023. That said, thanks a lot for your attention. Looking forward to seeing many of you at the upcoming Innovation Summits. Thanks a lot.